Hello, this is the commentated version of my Deus Ex any percent speedrun in 30 minutes and 45 seconds. Got a lot of comments and questions about this run on my original video, so I thought, why not try to explain and answer those questions as best as I can about this speedrun. So first of all, this is any percent with user.ini edits, and what that means is that we have some additional save and load keys. So save game and load game commands, basically bound to a key, and you can just use that to save and load the game at any time. And this helps with some of the tricks, like you saw with the jump at the dock, for example. Makes them a bit more consistent. It also can break the game in a bit more serious way, let's say. So first of all, we're not gonna do Liberty Island. We're just gonna go straight to UNATCO headquarters. And the guard inside gets scared by the gas cloud, so he will panic and run to the exit and open the door for you. So that way we don't have to do the mission at all. And we can just continue as if we have completed the mission. Get our stuff from Carter, which we don't need. And also talk to Jaime here. And at the end of this conversation, we're gonna make a save as well. So there you saw it, saving. This is a conversation save or a glitchy save. And it will break some of the scripts in the game. We'll use it a couple of times. This is also a nice interruption of the tricky boss conversation, so don't do this in real life, but yeah, it's quite funny to just throw the knife at him and end the meeting. Saves only a fraction of a second, but it's still nice. And then we're already on our way back to the dock and to leave the island onto our next mission. So you see we also grabbed some throwing knives and gonna get the crossbow here. Can use them to distract the NSF in the early stages. Like we'll have to in the first few levels, but at some point we don't need to do that anymore. And I'll explain that a bit later. It's also the reason why we don't really like the difficulty setting doesn't really matter. You can pick easy, you can pick realistic, you can pick anything. It doesn't matter for most of the run, because we can A, distract enemies, and B, enemies won't be able to see us at some point. So there was a save load to stop Anna from moving and just walk past her. And that way you don't get the mission from her to get inside Castle Clinton, retrieve the ambrosia. We don't need to do that at all. I looked down a bit there to prevent the guards from spawning. And here the darts will distract the guards. Also, yeah, you can save load through lasers, so that's a very old trick, but still useful. That was another knife at our brother Paul. He gave us a gap gun in the beginning, which is obviously the best choice for the speedrun. And also have advanced heavy weapon skill, so we can just move at full speed. Now we're gonna dupe our items, and it's a bit complicated, but basically it's the same steps, but then twice. So we're gonna kill ourselves and have our items transferred to the corpse. Then we revive ourselves with the save load. We walk out of the map without any items, and then it will give back some of your items. And then we can just repeat the same process, so you get some of your items back if you walk out of the map empty-handed. Then you can loot your own corpse, and then you can just kill yourself again, do the same process. So items transfer to the corpse, you revive yourself with save load, walk out of the map without any items, you get some of your items back, then walk back to loot your corpse. Here we grab augmentation canister for the legs, which is gonna help us make us run faster. We also have some grenade jumps here, so just use the bounce from the grenade to get higher. This method of going higher will soon also be obsolete, so we won't see any more grenade jumps after this. And you might also have noticed that the torso health was gone, so it's basically negative. That's because we used the save load to revive ourselves when we were dead. So the torso health is still negative. And then what happens if you use a healing item like the medkit, or use the candy bar, which only heals like 2 health. The enemies will ignore you, because you then are in a state called dead man walking. So the enemies won't respond to you in that if you are in that state, but you also won't be able to pick up any items. And speaking of picking up items, you saw me throw things around like that. What I do there is you toss an item and you pick them up with the scroll wheel. Also there I made a bit of a menu mistake, so that's like 5 seconds.
Carry on, Agent.
But yeah, you use the scroll wheel to pick up items.
Yes.
But you cannot do that if you are in Deadman Walking, so sometimes we have to be in Deadman Walking to make sure enemies won't spot us. The other times we need to not be in Deadman Walking because we need to dupe some by ourselves, for example, or candy bar. And there's another trick coming up that's like exclusive to to the user ini edits category, which is that you can blow yourself up and then fall through a floor, which is supposed to be moving at some point. So, for example, this telephone booth, we can fall through it if we destroy our body, like that, and then save loot to revive ourselves. And this also makes our torso health more negative. So they're a bit of a jumping error, but only a tiny mistake. And there's another trick coming up, which is grenade clipping. So you can use a grenade as a rotating platform, and it will rotate you inside the door if you're lucky. Like you need to, if you save and then load the save, you can give it a couple of tries. And it will usually work within like 3 or 4 tries. Yeah, the exception for Deadman Walking, when enemies like the cameras and turrets will still notice you. So we have to avoid alarms and avoid cameras if we can. Look, the robots won't see us, like here, you can see. So that's all fine, but the cameras and turrets are a bit of a annoying sometimes. Also, what you saw there, I went into the game options menu, and this allows me to jump higher. It's a bit of a weird bug, but you can do this 3 times to jump 8 times as high with your like augmentations. So that's very useful, and it will also the reason why the grenade jumps, you won't see them anymore in this run. We'll just use the super jump instead. So here again, went twice into the menu, and then you can jump really high. And what I'll do here is save load in mid-air to keep get the right direction and get inside the hangar. So the map transition to get to the hangar is a bit bigger than the tube itself, so you can enter from outside. Here I do not lose the lull because I shoot it and then go out of the map, and that way it won't get despawned. So you can shoot it multiple times. We'll see it in a bit later as well. This time 3 times super jump, so maximum height, maximum jump height. Here's a little trick with Jog. If you jump and interact with him, you will skip the conversation. sometimes the conversation is necessary to leave and sometimes not, like here. And I'll do it again when we leave Liberty Island here.
Don't sweat it if he chews you out.
Like, this section is quite simple, just speak to Manderley and leave. There's a little jump I do in Janice's office to stop her from speaking to me. Like about why Paul defected and so on. So just jump twice there and jump at the right time and you can skip her conversation. That's pretty much the only trick here. And here I'll just jump and interact. So this way we won't have to do the jock conversation about Paul's in trouble and etc. And for the runner, these kinds of sequences are quite nice because they give you a little break. In this level we won't talk to Paul the first time. You can just super jump over the blocking here. And we have to be careful a bit later when we're talking to Paul because the ult trigger for the first conversation is still there. So we need to wait at a certain distance from him to make sure we don't trigger that conversation. Also here again, shoot the law and then go out of the map. And there you can see eat the candy. So the UNATCO guards won't bother me.
I can see that the signal is being transmitted, but
That passcode Napoleon Revolution can be quite tricky to type. Sometimes make errors with typing. But yeah, the law is just to destroy the doors, so I can just walk straight in. Now you see I have the cigarettes here. Also bad jump there. But yeah, the cigarettes will be used to transfer ourselves, to kill ourselves, and to transfer ourselves to the prison as soon as we talk to Paul. So I just wait at a certain distance. Yeah, there you go. Kill yourself. Then just clip out of the prison with a grenade. Jump there to skip Anna. And then just break the glass there. You know the code to exit the prison, so you can just go straight out. Here again, candy bar to not get seen by these people. By UNATCO friends. Or former friends, I should say. We don't get the key because we haven't killed Anna. And the reason for that is because we're gonna scare her. And she will open the door for us if we scare her enough. So I failed a couple of times, it's like 5 seconds again, time loss.
been watching you from the cameras, JC. Double back and I'll give you the key to the front doors.
But yeah, we don't need the Alex key, so we don't need to kill Anna, so that's a bit of a bonus. Yeah, there we had to do the conversation, otherwise we won't be able to leave. And then we're going to Hong Kong. So Hong Kong will see a lot of also grenade clips, but then we'll use the grenade to create our own platform. It's just for consistency mainly, makes it a lot easier to clip through. So I think Jock is stuck here until he figures out how to escape on his own.
Okay, you need to find Tracer Tong.
But yeah,
Used to drop Paul off in a small
you can just go straight to First Alive with the code, because we already know it. Jump and go to the laboratories, because we also know the elevator code here. So just a lot of codes. Yeah, open the menu there for no reason, but we don't need super jump here. Just need to kill ourselves because it's like another platform that's supposed to be moving. Like it goes out of your way if you use the code 1-2. So get some more rockets. We can also open this door. So I think in other versions of the game, other than Game of the Year edition, you cannot open the door early until you've seen Tong and done seen the sword that Mega Chow's. But in the Game of the Year edition you can open it. Now here again we're gonna blow ourselves to pieces and fall through that thing that's supposed to be moving out of the way when you blow up the UC. Because all we need to do, we don't need to blow up the UC, we just need to get to this level, fall through the pipes basically, and that's it. We've done the mission according to the game, so GG, can just go to Tong now. In older routes we also got the sword at Mega Chow, and then just that's enough to convince Gordon Quick to let you through and see Tong. In this route we don't do that. That means the luminous path guards will be hostile, but we have candy bars so they don't see us, and we can just clip through the doors that are that won't be able to be opened with the codes. Like you can even enter the correct code, but it won't open, so you have to clip through this painting, I guess. Or I suppose it's not really a painting, but yeah. Here we're gonna clip in the wall and see Tong. So we need to see Tong to make sure he's there. If we don't see Tong from out of bounds, he won't be there. So, bit of a complicated story, but we need to see him before, because he will disappear after 5 seconds if he's not rendered. So yeah, you can just talk to Tong, and you also get the overlapping conversations there, so if you move too close to him, you'll get the initial conversation, but if you interact with him, he will give you the conversation like after you blow up the UC, and everything will be fine. Which also means we don't get our kill switch deactivated, so it might be a bit of a problem for JC. But we're quick enough that we can still save the world, and everything will be fine. Yeah, this New York City revisit is quite simple. We used the glitchy save here to get rid of the info-link. And I also forgot to mention in the prison, when we entered the prison, we also used the glitchy save to prevent our items from being taken. So that was the second instance of glitchy save. It breaks some scripts, and it also removes infolinks if there's one playing. Now here I'm gonna do another item dupe. So I leave a corpse there with my items transferred in it. Go out of the map without any items, so I get some of my items back. And then when we leave the ship, I can just loot the body and get another law, for example. Also, I don't have rockets here, so I have to use the code for the armory and get my 20 rockets there, because you can also dupe while you're picking up ammo. So just use the scroll wheel to pick up multiple at once. Then you could also clip there, but you also have to clip back, so it's just a bit more consistent to just grab the key. And now just use our get gun to destroy the weld points. And one of the weld points will use the law, because that's like a bigger blast radius, so you can hit it from further away. This is like the one where the helicopter is as well. The weld point there, you can just hit it like that. I tried to jump over that little sign, but I failed there, for example. But that was a bit unfortunate. And that's basically it. We can just we've blown up the ship now, so we can just leave. Jock will be picking us up near where we left our body. Yeah, be a bit careful with the femblades there. They will kill you. Just like anything else Like if JC takes any damage, you'll just die. So it's a bit unfortunate. It's one of the downsides of the Deadman walking. But it has so many benefits. Like if you think about the ship, if you have to do if you have to do that, yeah, you have to kill a lot of the enemies. They will be in the way constantly. And what I did there with Doubt, so I used the knife and then click to interact with to talk with him, and the attack from the knife will then interrupt the conversation. Like this conversation is quite long, so I can just interrupt it, and then we're done talking, and can just leave to Paris. This is really straightforward. You just jump straight down to the catacombs entrance, and then we don't need the pistol anymore, so we can just drop it here. Here we'll just do a couple of clips. So normally you would get the keys to the big doors here, but you can just clip through them. It's a bit tricky sometimes to see which side you're on when you're clipping, because the environments are so similar here. So a double grenade clip for the first door, and then single grenade clip here. This one is usually pretty consistent. Yeah, I had to look there for a second, like where I was. He gets rotated a random amount by the grenade, so it's a bit of a surprise always where you end up. Now, if we had the sword here, you could just use the sword to break open this door, but we don't have it, unfortunately, so bit of a minor time loss compared to the older route. Yeah, I talked to her accidentally. She was just wandering straight in my path, and yeah, I think I bought a code for the storage there, but we don't need it. Just talk to Nicolette and leave, basically. Now the next area, you'd normally go to the basement and interact with the computer there. You can just clip the garden. Just clip out through the crypt, I think it was. Straight to the cathedral. So the only problem is this clip is a bit... well, it's notorious for killing runs. You have to be really precise with the setup here. In my run I got it like first try almost, so that was very, very fortunate. Cathedral is usually quite nice in the speedrun. Like I thought I made a mistake there and only super jump twice, but you only need super jump twice, but I accidentally did it 3 times. So here I do it correctly 2 times, super jump. All we need to do here is use the code and get past Gunter here. Like we could not kill him, but yeah. I think I actually missed the shot. Yeah, you can hear him walking behind me, but if you aim right you'll kill him. If not, then it's not a big deal. As long as you don't talk to him, because after you talk to him he'll just use the flamethrower on you and kill you. Also a bit of a mistake here, like you would normally jump and land here at the door. So I jumped a bit too early, I think. And overall the menu mistakes cost like 5 seconds there. Now, next up is just Everett, just a simple clip. Don't need the key from Everett, just clip through the door. And then comes Vandenberg. Like that's probably the section where I got most questions about, like, what the hell happened at Vandenberg? How did you just shoot something and then you end the level? And that's yeah, that's really what happens. So every level has like a exit level trigger, and it's normally activated through conversations or interactions, like with the helicopter here, or it would be with Tong in Vandenberg. Also do skill points dupe here to get rifle at advanced, using the save loads here. So what I'm doing is I'm hitting the exit level trigger with bullet tracers. And the assault rifle there is just very handy because it spawns 30 tracers in a very short amount of time. And if one of them hits them, it's the tiny trigger there that's floating there in the middle of nowhere there. Yeah, that's what I'm aiming for. So there's the exit level trigger. It's just like a physical thing what you need to hit, and when you hit it, the level will end. You could also run to there and then jump into it, and also do the same thing, like jump into it with the super jump. So I hope that explains like the Vandenberg thing. With Tiffany, yeah, it's a bit unfortunate, but she walks very slow and it takes way too long to rescue her. So, and it takes also takes a bit of time for the guards to kill her if the guards notice you. So what's fastest is just kill her yourself and then Jock will spawn and take you to the ocean lab. Okay, just super jump straight to the platform where we need to go. And because this is a vertical elevator, we can just kill ourselves and fall down. Just fall through and then save load. I think we'll see it again one more time in Ocean Lab, so if you enjoy seeing that, it will come up a bit later. I think I made a typo here with Kraken, yeah. So that's like 3 seconds. I opened the bay doors so I can just easier to leave, and can also swim back here. And I also deactivated one of the turrets, which would be a pain later on. For that door you could also get the key, but if you clip and then get it first or second try, it saves a bit of time. Yeah, it takes a while to get out of the water for some reason. Electricity here can be a bit of a problem with Deadman walking, because any damage, so also electricity damage, can just instantly kill you. And if you try to save load and revive yourself, you may get hit again with electricity, so it's a bit of a tricky situation there. So that is the turret we disabled with the console, and then here we can just again blow ourselves to pieces and fall down. So there you go. And then all we need to do is talk to the computer, or like do the thing on the computer. Can just super jump straight there, no need to use the elevator. And we know the code, so it's just easy to get the schematics. Now this info link that's playing right now, that is very important to not interrupt that with the save load. So just let that play out, otherwise you won't be able to leave. There's a bit of waiting time here, so you could duplicate some more grenades in the while you're waiting there. But I opted not to do it. Like with the additional grenades, you could do some extra clips in Area 51 with the final elevator. But that's quite tricky, and yeah. When I tried it, I only managed to save like 4 seconds with it. So I did not go for it. Still, I'm pretty satisfied with my runs so far. There were a couple of areas where I made like 5-second mistakes. But overall the pace is quite good. Here's a little window clip. So the thing is, you can clip from inside to outside to the water, but you cannot clip from the water to inside. Like if you could do that, it would be a lot faster, but yeah.
Let's go.
Also, you saw we did not have a body here during the conversation, because when we went down the elevator we blew to pieces, so when we have conversations you won't see a body. Now here's an area. It's just very interesting mechanics here. It's the final time for the law. So what happens here, if we shoot through this hatch here and kill Howard Strong that way. It's quite neat, but you need to aim at a specific spot to be able to hit him, even though the law blast radius is quite big. Then the glitchy save will interrupt the infolink and then we can just leave. More grenade clips here. Yeah, we won't see too many of those. Also running quite low on grenades. Yeah, tried something fancy here, but this ended up losing quite a bit of time actually, so I just fall down and then save load right before you land. That does the trick. Final time, super jump to skip the stairs here. And the final grenade clip. You can also subtly hear like the sound. The grenade bounce is a bit more mute when you clip through. And when you're not clipped through, it's like a clear sound. So that's what you can tell, how you can tell if the clip was successful or not. Yeah, a bit of a creepy elevator ride with the guards there, but they won't hurt us. And now we're almost done because we're gonna end the game here. Like this would be for the Tong ending, the final part where you deactivate the cooling on the reactors and then fire up the reactors. But you can also just hit the button from a specific angle. There you go. That will trigger the ending. And that's the end of the run. So it was the first time anyone got a sub 31 time. Sub 31 minutes. I hope I explained as best I can. I hope it was clear. What about what's happening with this run? All the crazy things. There's also a version of any percent without the user.ini saves. And it's actually mostly the same except for the starting part up till the prison. But after that it's very similar to this one. But you can pick either one. Like, I like this version because it has so many crazy things. But I can also understand without the edit saves. Maybe it's a bit more pure, I guess. So here I compared my splits to the best split times I've gotten until then. So it was behind my best paces for a lot of the run, but at the end I got like ahead. Especially with Ocean Lab, was very clear. I never had such a good pace at Ocean Lab. Also compared it against Balanced VB and also compared against Maxim's time, which still is a very good run. In 31 minutes, 10 seconds. I think I'll do that here. Yeah, there you go. So I actually was behind at Ocean Lab 4 seconds. I was behind this run for most of the time actually, but just at the end that I got way ahead. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the commentary. It was fun to watch this back as well, see all the things that happened in this run. I'm very happy with it. I'm not sure if or when I'm gonna try and beat it, but I think I can save at least like 20 seconds. It's just a matter of making fewer mistakes, maybe implementing some newer strats, some faster strats as well. Also, if you're interested in speedrunning this game yourself, I made a tutorial series, so if you're interested in that, just have it linked below. Just enjoying the credits music here. Peace out.